A man who lacks intelligence and wisdom, who does not possess any discernment, listens to the teachings of the Buddha. The Buddha explains that both form and formlessness are not self, anatta, and that Dharma itself is also not self. This man, mistakenly thinking he has understood, concludes that if there is no self, then he need not take any action at all. He clings to the principle that there is no self, which leads him to inaction. This man grasps only the concept that there is no self, so he doesn't do anything. When he goes about his daily life, he experiences impacts from external factors, feeling happiness and suffering. He sees that happiness exists as it is, without a self, not belonging to him. He only contemplates this much. When he's happy, he sees that happiness has no self, can't be grasped, is not him. When he's very suffering, he considers, oh, this suffering has no self. Why be foolish enough to suffer? So he lets it be. Happiness comes and goes, suffering comes and goes, neutrality comes and goes. Sometimes he has a lot to think about. He sees that these thoughts have no self, so he lets them be. Some days it's extremely hot. He sees that it's very hot, and that this intense heat has no self, can't be controlled, so he lets it be. He sees everything as without self, not interested in any practice. Looking at the sky, he sees that everything has no self, is not him, not his, so he lets it be. When there's heavy rain and flooding, he sees that it all has no self, is not him, not his, can't be controlled, so he lets it be. He lives in this world without foolishly clinging to anything, because nothing is him or his, nothing has a self. He observes his own emotions sometimes. Emotions have no self. The sound of speech has no self. He sees that mental images have no self. He only sees this much. The awareness that hears this sound, it's aware by itself, it has no self. Then he has a sudden realization of the Dhamma. He sheds tears. Oh, this is how the Dhamma is. The Buddha taught so directly. There's nothing at all with a self. There's nothing to do. Is this what the Buddha meant by just knowing things as they are? He didn't say to do anything, just to know. Oh, suffering should be known. He said to just know that things are as they are, just know that they have no self. When he attained enlightenment, tears of joy flowed. He bowed before the Buddha, and the sound of reverence echoed around him. The atmosphere became light and clear, transforming into a state of emptiness, pure and untainted, merging with all existence. This is someone who is not exceptionally talented. One who attains enlightenment doesn't need to be clever. Those who easily attain the Dhamma are ordinary people who don't need to know anything special, don't need to be skilled at anything, don't need to memorize theories or texts, don't care about any of that. They're just ordinary people who know things as they truly are. They know just as the Buddha taught, nothing more.